Hey guys, what's going on? Hold on, I'm trying to get my stuff set up. I had to move my cushion because it was gonna rain. So I had to move some stuff around, but y'all give me a minute. Allegedly, remember, allegedly, these are all gonna be my opinions, my theories. Not speculation. It is getting ice cold. We're supposed to have an Arctic freeze, and we never have that here. But we're gonna get one now, it says. So I'm trying to build a big old fire tonight because it's gonna be cold. How y'all doing? I want to say hi. Remember, look, golly, it is getting cold. Remember, allegedly, these are my opinions. All my opinions. I'm an alleged bubble, remember? And, that fire's gonna be blowing. Need to move it closer. And, anyway, I wanted to say, trigger 1 times 100 million. Allegedly, these are my opinions. And sorry for the pause, guys. I had to set up my cushion so I didn't sit on an ice cold hard chair. But I mean, they're like loungers, but they're like the recliners type outdoor chairs, you know, the big heavy ones. But I don't want to lean like this. If I lean back, I go all the way back, and that's too far. Like, it'd be cool if y'all could hear me though. I could just sit back here, you know. But I'd be too far back. But it is kind of chilly today. It's supposed to. We don't ever get real cold, guys, and it's supposed to be like 34 or 29 or something with the windshield. So y'all know me, I have all these garden plants, right? So I had to put all my stuff up in a little greenhouse area, and then I had to build some little areas and sheet them off with some heat lights and stuff. So as I grow all my own vegetables, so y'all know how that goes. It's a pain in the butt to do because we normally don't ever get this kind of weather, like maybe once every 5, 10 years, 20 years. I mean, we hadn't seen snow since 2004, I think. It was the last time it snowed. So it's been a while, guys. I brought plenty of wood, though, tonight. So we're going to build us up a good old-fashioned fire for y'all guys. It's going to get hot so I can warm up like Christopher Proudfoot's ass. I'm playing. Anyway, I want to talk about Sebastin Rogers a little bit. I'm going to talk about a couple of things tonight. We've gone over so much, like CPS, so much, all these other ones, right? Hold on, I gotta grab this. I gotta put it right here. So, alright, yeah. Had to get my extra hoodie just in case. I don't think I'll need 2 hoodies, but you never know. Anyway, I wanna touch base a little bit on some of the stuff I've dug up, right? Like the 449 address and the 155 address, and then so many addresses on the Bowersock side. Maddie, Kathy, whatever you want to call her. I don't mean you call her whatever you want, but there's so much on that side. And in another one, again, we have, like, you know how the other house over there is in the woman's name, and then this house is in the woman's name. It's kind of weird how, and I don't know, maybe because she's in real estate or whatever, she did it that way, but I have no idea. Or maybe it's just that she wears the pants. I don't know. But it is kind of, there's some areas that they have that, like all around in there, there's just so many different areas. But I was going through and looking at some old photos of some of the properties, and I was wondering if this one photo, when they put the house up for sale, I think in 2022 or something, before the new house or whatever, it had like a room that looked like maybe for Faith. It had a big unicorn and all kinds of stuff. And I don't know if that was her room or not, but I know that that's what it looked like, is that it was a girl's room. But you never know, right? Oh, I thought that fire was gonna go out. I'm wondering if any of those areas in the Gallatin and all those other areas have been searched, right? Because I've been there plenty of times, Dolly World and all that too, you know, that big theme park and stuff. So I don't know. There's so many areas, right? And then again, see that wind? I told y'all that wind blowing here like 50. I thought I was gonna have time to do this before it got too bad, but I might not. Oh my gosh, I might not have enough time. Dang, that wind's picking up. I might not have should have lit that fire, huh? I got blankets everywhere. That's not a good idea. Catastrophe waiting to happen. But anyway, you know, like the CPS and all these other things, and all this stuff that they did before, you know, trying to take that baby from Nina and all these things, it just shows the side of them that's just evil, right? And like want to get their way type people and all that stuff. And it just really, I don't know, it gets on my nerves a little bit. It does, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like whatever that boss lady says, like, they jump and do, right? Like, it's weird. Like, who does these things, right? Who does this to an autistic boy? Like, I don't understand. How can you pick on a child? Like, you know, I was looking at a couple other videos that I'd never seen before. I didn't know were out there. And just to listen to some of the things that they say, mainly, you know, the stepdad, but a stepbear, whatever you want to call it, mainly that one, he just said a lot of hateful things that weren't necessary. And like, you know, I always thought he was a taunter, right? Like, he's taunting about, like, I got away with this, I'm bad, that. You know, like the Michelin Man, you know what I'm saying? But that's what he reminds me of, Michelin Man. But anyway, I don't know if I ever told you all that, but I don't understand how somebody can talk about a child like this. I really don't. Like, in my book, especially not one with special needs, because y'all know how I feel about that. They're more special, right? That's how I feel. And it's so hard to understand how somebody could be this way. Just, you know, like, if he had never used a belt or hands or whatever he used this amount of times, like, Sebastin would have never had to tell the teachers, right? Which I found that picture of him and his teachers today is so cute. That Sebastin, when the lady had on the green, you know, like, is she wearing that for him because that's his favorite color? I don't know, but it's just so cute, right? Because he's standing there with the teachers, and it's such a cute picture. Like, some of the pictures I found were just so cute. And like, how could you be mean to that? That little angel face, like, how could you be mean to that, right? And I know it's hard to raise them and things like that, but you know what? As a parent, you suck it up and you do your job, right? That's what we do as parents. We put our children first, and that's just what we're supposed to do in life, right? Make sure that we pave the way for them the best paved way possible. And I just don't get how you can marry someone that's gonna speak to your child like that or do those things to your child. Like, this is what's really starting to bother me, is how would she allow this as a mother, right? How could she be, like, you know, maybe she was abused, which a lot of people think she was, and it's possible. He is an abuser, you can tell, kind of like his personality, in my opinion, right? I mean, allegedly, in my opinion, I feel that way, but it's like, I don't understand, like, how she would marry him knowing and like this, like, knowing these things, right? Like, was that her way out? Was it like she felt like it was more of a, like, she stolen from Nina type thing? Because I still believe that. I think he was still with Nina whenever he met Katie, right? They probably were just sidekicking it, and then, you know, who knows? It just happened, and then I guess he decided, oh, well, another one I can control, right? And number 5, number 6, number 7, whatever number it was. But I just think about all that, and I think about all those wives before. Like, I wish all those wives would come out and speak and tell us everything, so then we would understand more. Like, we only had, what, the one wife that I'm aware of that spoke, and man, she killed it though, right? She did. She laid it out there no matter what. She pretty much said how it is, right? And I think that's wonderful. I think that's really, really a wonderful thing that she did by doing that, because it did paint us a picture, right? Of, you know, we don't always take not all 100% of it to heart, right? We take about 65, 70% because of what we already knew, and we realized that, you know, 80 to 90%, she was probably truthful, right? And she might have exaggerated here and there a little, and that's okay, but for the most part, at least she was brave enough to spit it out. We have neighbors that won't even talk. So at least this woman was brave enough to come out and talk, right? And now whether she painted that picture for the court things that were going on, or whether she painted that picture to let people know, hey, dig this man up, right? Dig up his past, dig up his background. Because that's what I got from it. Like, she was wanting people to dig, right? Dig him up, search him, research him. You know, like, you're going to see that this person is an evil person. He's not a good person. And then, of course, once we learned who he was, then we start looking at you know, the parents. That's what you do, right? So the one that we know is, of course, Mama Sock, right? And Stinky Sock. And I just, to see how she is, right? Then you're like, oh my gosh. Like, that's why I use that photo of them making that pouty face, like they were just trying to taunt everyone with Sebastin, right? Like, who does that? Evil people. Hateful, cold-hearted people, in my opinion, right? And my allegedly, my free speech. Cold-hearted people do that when there's someone missing, especially your grandchild. You're over here and fight nails and teeth for faith, but you don't do nothing for Sebastin. But pick on him. And let everybody at your parties pick on him. And talk about him. And how much he's in the way. And how much he's affecting Chris's life. And this and that and the other. This is a child. So you know what? I started thinking about all that. And I was thinking, you know, it kind of got to me. Because I was thinking, and I was like, you know, we are what our parents make us, right? That's, you know, we are, unless we defy the odds and we come out better, right? Which we always try to do as growing up, as when we become young adults. We try to do better than our parents. That's our goal, right? That should be your goal. So, say for instance, this man tried to do better. Can you imagine if he did what she did? Think about that for a second. You know, because we do. That's one thing that I always want my kids to do better than me, right? Accomplish more than me, be nicer, be sweeter, be more kind than me, right? That's what I want as a parent, right? That's what my kids have driven them to want, right? So I was thinking, and I was like, you know, I didn't think of this on my own, but I'm not going to take all the credit. But one of my daughters said it. She's like, can you imagine what he went through with his mom? And then that if he came out better than her, like, you know, we plan to do, wow, that makes her look really, really bad. Like, and I don't know the other side, like the real father, I don't know nothing about that side, you know, of Chris. I don't know. All we know is a step papa bear, right? That's the only one we know, the one with all the Comcast IPs and Infinity. Like, I can make a phone work when it doesn't have service type people, you know, like an IT tech, like, you know, his daughter-in-law, like, that can do all these crazy things with computer technology, right? And wireless and hotspots and Bluetooths and all this shit. Man, you know, they put their heads together. That's how they accomplish this. That's what I think in my book, in my opinion. And like I said before, the motive was the court. But if we talk about that a little bit, right? Like, you know, what has all kind of came out of this was that he was going to testify, right? He was, and she was fighting it. The mother was fighting it, sending in a letter 30 days prior, trying to, I guess, keep him from being able to testify, right? Like, hey, this is my son. No. But still, all in all, how did Seth not know? I'm still confused on that. Like I said last night, I think maybe maybe CPS had Chris on speed dial, right? And like, maybe it was a weekly checkup or something. I don't know. But, like, how does Seth not know any of this? Like, how did I guess he never went to the school maybe and picked him up. I don't know. You know, like, maybe he didn't. I think he said he picked him up at home right after school. But God, you would think the teachers would send something home or say something to Seth, right? About it and ask him if he knew, knowing that he worked for the sheriff's office, right? Or the prison or what, like you would think they would have said something. And that's what I thought about today when I saw those teachers' faces with Sebastin. I'm thinking, you know, they're the ones that were trying to save this little boy. And they took him seriously, what he told them. So they had faith, they had trust in him. And to not tell Seth, I mean, I know it's, you know, it may have been that they never saw him. You know, I know that the one statement was that he came to the school once and supposedly whopped him in the head, trigger warning guys, whopped him in the head, right? I mean, I don't know about that, but now that we know them, I don't believe that. Just like I don't believe some of the stuff she fired back with. I think that boy was older. I'm trying to connect that boy to one of these kin to Bowersox people. I don't know if that's the case, but I'm just trying to figure it out. It takes a little bit to get some data back, you know, and so I'm working on a few things behind closed doors to see what I can figure out. And because I do take this case seriously, I take all my cases seriously, just like you know, Harley Morris that I'm starting to work on now. Like I'm really digging that up too, right? And it's almost just like this case. I hate to say that, but the way that they vanished is like just like this case. No dog trail, no camera footage, but just a little short piece, like, you know how we had the Roadhouse footage and then poof, right? This guy was seen leaving the 50 Club Lounge and then poof, right? It's like the same thing, it vanished. The only difference is Harley's not autistic and he was 29 years old. But it's still the same scenario, like they vanished in thin air. Which we know nobody vanishes, but until we can find him, he vanished, in my book. I mean, I think he had help being carried somewhere, but he still vanished. Is he in Alaska? I don't know. I'm starting to think that way. And I don't know why, but I'm starting to think that way a lot right now. That it's very, very possible that the Stinky Socks did something with him, you know, got him from the Stinky Feet and took him to Alaska or somewhere that way. And can you imagine how many places that's on that way that they could have, wow. That's more than looking for a needle in a haystack. That's looking for a needle in the entire Atlantic Ocean. Put it that way. And you gotta remember, they grew up in this country. They know this land. They know those hunters. They know all this. They're smarter than that. Look how long they've got away with it so far. Which, I mean, I think it's all about to come to an end this week. I'm so glad it's almost Monday. I'm ready to get my popcorn out, right? Ooh, man, that fire is, woohoo, gonna catch me on fire, guys. But, you know, I just sit around and you know, like when I'm sitting there taking my notes and stuff, I just get more and more frustrated because I'm like, you know, like in the beginning, I just wanted, I remember telling myself, why aren't they getting off their ass and searching? And then, you know, you see Seth out there and you see all him yelling and screaming and hollering his name and searching and running himself to the ground. But then you see the other ones like living in La La Land. And then I didn't really know they were out acting fools on social media at first. I didn't know that till later on, right? And I mean, because I didn't have my channel then and I was still working on missing cases, a lot of different missing cases and a lot of runaway cases. So I didn't focus. I mean, I kept up with the highlights, but I didn't really know that he was out there being a little silly. I mean, like sling blading and all that stuff. I didn't really know all that until now that I'm actually watching it all, and it's like disgusting. It makes me sick in my stomach to think about it, and that's why I know that the red flags, there's too many red flags. You know, when you have this many red flags, something bad happened. And as we pray that he's put up somewhere and he's safe and he can be coming home to his daddy or family or whatever the judge decides, like, I want him to be okay. I do. Bad. Just like I want them all to be okay. Just like I want Taylor Rodriguez from San Antonio, Texas, right down the road from me, to be okay up there on that mountain. But this weather up there is bad. Do I feel he supposedly didn't even have the proper attire to go up there? So I'm still wondering why he just randomly decided to drive all the way to California from San Antonio, Texas to go climb a mountain in the dead of damn winter. But I don't know why. But, I mean, I know they're looking for him, and it's heartbreaking. He still has family. He's still somebody's child. He's still missing in the cold. I pray he's okay. The outcome, I don't know if it's going to be that great, though. That weather is bad. They said the trails are even iced over. So even if he wanted to try to get back down, if he didn't have the proper spikes and stuff, he couldn't get back down. And it's just like, it's so frustrating. Like all these cases, Summer Wells, all these cases, and how they just don't, like, how did they get away with leaving nothing, right? Which I don't believe they left nothing. I believe, just like in Summer Wells, I think they have some things. I think they have probably enough to arrest them, but they're scared that that one shot won't seal the deal. And that's why I think the same way in this. I think they have enough probably to do it, but they're scared that that one shot they'll get, there's a chance with them having pull in that town that they'll walk. So if they can find him outside of that town, then I don't know if they'll, you know, with them being military, they're probably going to be able to go. They'll probably be in New York going to trial, or wherever the military people want them to go, because they're both military. So I don't believe their trial will be there in Hendersonville at all. I don't think they'll have any say-so. I think it'll be somewhere else. At least I pray it'll be somewhere else. But God, there's just so much, right? So much, but not enough. I'm just praying they got what I think they got. I'm praying they grab something from that landfill, at least their trash. Like, I'm hoping they got at least that, because there was most likely was something would be in there that would give them some kind of clues. And if you notice that after the landfill search, after he made that speech about being disappointed, it just went completely silent. That's what makes me think they found something under that white tent. Something. Because they did go like ghost quiet. And I'm wondering if, and shortly after that, they also brought them all in and talked to him, remember? 24th of March. So I'm wondering, what did they find? And is it enough to maybe help them? Because, you know, like what the FBI and them thinking that I'm grasping from is that it was some kind of kidnapping, or it was made to look like that. And I think they're thinking more it was made to look like that, but it wasn't. And so I'm wondering, was that gaming station newer? With the old one thrown away, with the iPads thrown away, phones thrown away, things thrown away, that would have made that trash can weigh more. Something made it weigh more than normal. So, Dusty, if you said 100 pounds difference or something like that, from what I was heard, I think it was like 80 to 100, 75 to 100 pounds. A big difference in weight. When you're looking for somebody that's 108 to 110 pounds, according to FBI, or 120. I don't think, no way it was 120, poor baby. I think it was like 110, 115 by looking at him on the Roadhouse footage. But it is, guys, it's heartbreaking. It's very badly heartbreaking. I'm sorry, but it is. And it's tough. And it sucks. And I want justice for this boy. I want this boy found and brought home, just like everybody else does. But the more we dig, we might dig for a week to find one little bit, but that's okay. At least we found one little something, right? Like, I got some stuff I'm working on right now that it might lead somewhere, but then it might be a nothing burger, right? Might just be a nothing burger. Just go to McDonald's, get a hamburger, because it might not be nothing. But then again, it might be something. Just like if you see something, say something, right? But you know, another thing that I wondered was that photo that was put out in North Carolina. Do you think that was somebody done by the Prophet? Like they paid somebody to do that? I wondered about that. Like to kind of throw everything in a different direction. You know, that put a shock in the investigation when that happened. And it probably took a week of downtime. So I'm kind of wondering. Whew. It's a hot fire, guys. It's a hot fire. It's beautiful, though. It's hot, though. And it's cold as heck out here. But anyway, I wanted to come on for a little while. I know it's Sunday, tomorrow's Monday. I'm hoping something's going to break tomorrow or Tuesday. That would be wonderful. I don't know how this weather's going to go. It's getting so cold right now. My phone's probably going to freeze over. But I don't know, guys. I just wanted to come on and visit a little bit. I don't really have that much to say yet. I'm working on some things. But I did want to come on for y'all for a little while and say hi and talk a little bit about Sebastin and then the Harley Morris and, you know, and the Caleb Collins. There's nothing yet. I'm wondering if they found that young man, because they're, like I said, they're about 500 yards from the house and it's some thick trees, and there was about 32 officers there, which is way more than 3 times the amount it's been before. So I don't know, FBI, everybody's there. I'm wondering if they found this young man. I pray to God they did. It's horrible what that baby had to go through. Absolutely horrible. And then to be put in a trash bag like that, trigger warning, is just miserable. So, I don't know, guys. You just need to keep fighting, keep pushing, right? Because I think the 4 hold the key, the 4 hold the answers. I'm still working on that Comcast stuff, see if I can figure out how that thing exactly 100% works before I say too much about it. But I'm going to keep working on it. I just had some busy searches today, so I didn't get a chance, but I will, guys. I just wanted to come on for about 30 minutes and say hi and visit with y'all and just ramble a little bit, because I know y'all like when I ramble sometimes. So y'all keep up the faith, guys, and keep up the prayers, and shout out to the teachers for at least calling CPS. I know that CPS kind of failed this young man, but hopefully that's what they're going to get him for. I mean, they can at least get him maybe 10, 15 years for that, and then maybe by then they'll find Sebastin. Get the mama for neglect and abuse for allowing him to abuse under her watch, and probably lying for Chris. Probably what it was. They're both probably lying. Poor Sebastin was just outnumbered. Sucks. Makes me hurt my heart thinking about it. Poor kid was trying to speak out and nobody would listen. Heartbreaking. Getting smacked around by a belt and probably his hand and no telling what else. I know there's more to it than a belt. I guarantee you, probably in my book. In my opinion, I think it was way more than a belt. He wouldn't have had those scratch marks and bite marks for no reason. Poor Sebastin. It makes you want to cry, right? Thinking about it. Troublesome. Think about what this poor young man endured. And still have such a bright smile on his little face, right? The heartbreaking. Alright, guys, well, I'm gonna go. Y'all have a good night. I'm gonna go try to get warm, but y'all be safe. We love y'all, guys. We appreciate y'all. Remember, I'm just an alleged ball tonight. These are my opinions only, my free speech. Nothing to reflect on the channel. Y'all's comments, y'all's nails alone, not to reflect on the channel. We do our research together. Trigger warning times 100 million, whatever you want to say. I don't know. Justice for Sebastin Rogers, what I say. This little boy needs to be found. Somebody, I pray, finds this young man, because this weather, I'm sure if it's this bad here, is probably horrible up there. So shout out to anyone out there searching other than the ones that never searched before. Anyway, guys, y'all be good, be safe. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Alright, guys, if I get anything updates on Caleb or the mountain guy, Taylor, Rodriguez, or Harley Moore, any of the other cases, I'll come on and let y'all know, guys. Alrighty, y'all be safe, be good. We'll talk soon. Y'all don't have too much fun tonight. No, I'm playing. Y'all be safe. Keep your prayers up for all the missing guys. They need us. All the runaways, they run for a reason. Alright, guys, talk later. Bye.